What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Catch Me Off-Road YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in today. We have a cool video for you. Today we'll be installing a full K&N cold air intake system on the Ram TRX. That's this truck that I'm driving right now. You saw my last couple videos where we've been going through updates and mods to the truck. So we're going to be installing this full intake system and seeing how it goes. We're heading right now to Blackout City Customs, where they're going to help me install the intake system, and I'm going to try to do some before and after sound clips here from inside the truck to see what kind of supercharger noise we pick up with the new system. So currently the truck is stock. It does have an AWE exhaust system on it, a catback system. It's called the 0FG, and otherwise the engine is completely stock, nothing else done to it. Love to get pulley swaps or make some more power and things like that in the future, so this is one of the mods that is needed for that. An aftermarket intake that's supposed to open up the airflow a little more. Alright, I'll stop talking so you can hear some actually, we got a school bus here. I'm going to pause the video and we're going to resume in just a second. Alright, so here's a basically a dig. Let me roll into it a little bit. Just a very faint sound of the supercharger whine. The exhaust really overpowers the supercharger even in stock form, even without the exhaust system. Let's try a couple more. Let me actually lock in gear so we can get some higher RPM, maybe mid to high RPM type engine speed where it really sings. We're just in normal mode, by the way, but I mean, sport mode doesn't make a difference. You can hear some whine there around 3,000 to 4,000 RPM. Sorry, I have a big box in my back seat with all the air filter parts, so you might hear it moving around. Let's try a little higher RPM yet. And that's not full throttle, that's just rolling in gently just to get some whining going on. Alright, so that's kind of your before, and I'll make note of the sounds after, as well as any changes in feel, or you know, if I feel like any extra power has been gained or anything like that, I'll be sure to let you know. So stay tuned. We're going to install the air filter now, or the air intake system now. Here's some revs before modifying it. And here's all of our stuff getting ready to go in. Look at the size of this filter. It's huge. Look, that's for scale. Check this out. K&N includes this with the instructions. It's actually a dyno chart of what the before and after looks like with this exact engine. It says stock 2021 TRX, third gear run with 10,000 miles on it, and you can see it made nice gains along the whole power curve, with a peak looking around 21 horsepower at 5,000 RPM. And then on the torque side, about 40 foot-pounds down low, which is nice, and it carries all the way through to the upper RPM range. That's awesome. Pretty cool they included that. And they've included some really nice instructions for with pictures for how to do this whole thing. I think it's about 3 pages long. Oh, I forgot to mention we're here at Blackout City Customs. My boy Mo is helping me out with this. Or I'm helping him out. He's going to do most of the work. I'm going to watch. So battery's been unclipped, and now it's time to take off the cover. Mo wanted me to show this part. What is that? Oh, nice little Easter egg there. TRX eating a raptor. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and basically remove this whole assembly along with this front cover right here, and then we'll eventually get to the metal frame or the support on the sides. So we're just going to kind of fast forward through all that and start taking stuff apart. We went ahead and pulled the air cover, whatever housing cover right here, got the air filters out, and then we took out the bolts that hold the support bracket on there, and now we just basically lift it up and out. Wow, that sure opens up the engine bay. So with everything out of the way, we had to pull the crankcase ventilation valve right here You had to take those 3 bolts out and a quick disconnect on the back and then an electrical connector on the front, because we reused that but not the hose, so we had to pull the hose off of it basically. And now we're pulling the air filter apart, or the support bracket apart, and then we'll be installing that with the new air filter. Alright guys, so we just put the new K&N air filter right in there. Man, she's a big girl, huh? So we dropped in the filter, we put these nice rubber seals on that seal against the hood. We haven't done the hood yet, that's next. And then you can see air can come in from right here in the front, or it can come in through the top, which is what the hood connects to. And then the nice thing is our TRX front valance, or valance, however you pronounce it, goes back on, just like that. So you get to retain your little TRX eating a raptor. Thanks for all the noise.
Of course.
All right. All right, putting the finishing touches on. Woo, shiny. All right, not really the finishing touches, but we're halfway. Yeah, he just wanted to put the K&N logo. All right, let's keep going. We just put in the hood section. So that fits in there with a couple bolts at the top, and then you just clip back in your insulation pieces, and everything should line up nicely with this. And they actually give you a plate, block-off plate, that you can put in this section right here for, it says for inclement weather, if there's any rain, snow, things like that, or heavy rain, I guess, and snow, and that's what the block-off plate looks like right there. It just kind of slides in, and then you got to put a couple bolts in. But we're gonna leave it out for now because we want to hear the whine. Everything down here is buttoned up. The wires are all in. We should be good to put the battery back on and test this thing out. Feel around for leaks. Yeah, buddy. All right, guys, we're going for the first drive. We just pulled out of the shop, and we're gonna see how this thing sounds from the inside with the windows up. I hear some whining. Wow, it's much louder, even at like low throttle positions. Here, once traffic moves, we'll continue. All right, let's hear how it sounds. That was just a gentle roll onto the throttle. Yeah, it's a lot louder than factory. It was really noticeable even at low RPMs when you're just barely accelerating. It's a lot louder. Right there. There's a lot of tire noise and wind noise right now, also keep that in mind in the truck, but it's very audible even over all that.
And this is in sport.
It's in sport mode right now? Yeah. Super loud. Wow, that made a huge difference. Yeah, look, just barely on the gas and it just whines like crazy now. We're gonna launch here. Wow.
You feel a difference?
Yeah. It does feel like it pulls pretty hard. It's hard to tell. I think it said it was a 20 horsepower difference. It's hard to tell 20 horsepower without having a dyno, but and maybe it's just the sound, but it does feel feels like a quick truck, even with the 37s on it. So yeah, this thing's awesome. We'll get some more clips from the outside as well. Dang, that's loud. Alright guys, that wraps up today's video. Hope you enjoyed the install procedure and those last few clips. It was a pretty simple install. It didn't take long, maybe an hour or so for a couple guys working on it, and the results are, as you can see, pretty sweet. We got a lot of loud supercharger whine. The intake temperatures were running a little cooler. We've been running it for a couple days now, and we're super happy with the K&N air filter. Sounds good, looks good, can't beat it. So we have a link in the description for this exact filter. They also make filters for tons of other vehicles. Just check out their website, and they actually have a brand new series of air intake systems and filters that just came out called the Next Gen. So check them out. They're not like standard air filters. They're really optimized for flow and for sound. So check them out, and thanks you guys. We'll catch you on the next one.